But meanwhile, Miller is fighting for his tournament life here up at the top, is going to need something for the left, and gets a long bar just in time. Oh my goodness, edge of death and the perfect square.
So we will see
and Miller is
of our classic players that
what survival from Miller.
are going to advance.
And Miller gets the well open
The story developing on the
and
bottom.
will
Still warming up.
the bar.
Blocks the well, but has it open and has burns available. Gets the
Tetris for Miller.
There.
Oh my goodness, Miller.
So we might end up having
And it's hard with a tournament like this, especially since I haven't seen all these players as DAS mains. I don't quite know the strength of everybody, so I don't know who's the favorite here between Miller and Kirby.
We'll try to get as many matches.
As you pointed out, Scooty, we haven't really seen these matches go deep yet, so we don't know how these players haven't truly pushed each other to the limits yet. So we could see that in this final game here.
Yeah, so it looks like Kirby just going a little too aggressive going into 19 the past 2 games. And Miller's just been able to line out and chase that down. So if Kirby is able to slow down for play, then maybe can take the set.
Yeah, and meanwhile we are down now underway at the bottom with Barrett and Scotto. Scotto has an early lead, but their boards are pretty safe, so we'll be focusing on this decider probably up top for now. Miller's still dealing with some traffic in his stack.
That got 15 seeds as well. Yeah, it's good to see just all these new players, but then the classics are here too. They're here and they're bringing it. Get a nice mesh of players of all walks. Yeah, and what I love about it is people who are just getting into our scene now are seeing these players that maybe they'll watch our older videos and they'll see
down on the bottom. Scotto has about 1 Tetris lead, and Miller
but they made their mark and they improved year after year.
Down by 2 Tetrises.
I would say that
but overall, close
of
games.
the year
So
succeeding.
yeah, just Kirby leading against Miller. So
yeah, and that you see that story happen a lot where players are constantly improving.
Nice skim by Kirby to get the very, very slightly dirty Tetris. I don't know if we've established a name for those little teeny tiny dirty Tetrises. I think Dusty Tetris is one of the terms that's been thrown around.
So yeah, Kirby is maintaining this lead.
Okay, I see Mega Retro Man.
Yeah, and so both players are looking here to avoid any possible danger in their stack as they approach the transition here. They both have 2 Tetrises available. Miller doesn't have any burns if he wants to get both Tetrises, so if a danger situation comes up, he probably would want to cash in the burns, and he's going to have to here. His next Tetris will transition him, and his board is not ideal. Okay, he needs it's long bar or death here. He needs to open this up. And I don't know if the situational awareness was there. Oh my gosh, he gets it over, but it's going to be too late.
Oh, and that's going to be it for Miller, and Kirby advances on to the top 32.
And the fist pump there. So Miller was put in a very incredibly difficult position where he had to make a split-second decision on how to open up the well. And I think if he had done that, he would have basically been stuck at the mercy of a long bar or death. So that is a gamble he could have taken. He tried to opt to burn it down with just skimming at the top. And unfortunately, he just wasn't able to get the pieces over. So a lot of these games, it really comes down to a very intricate chess move, especially with DAS where you have a lot of limitations. So now we have Bun Bun. I think that's what Barrett told me how to pronounce it. Bun Bun in honor of Jonas and how he named himself for CTWC 2020. And then Scotto Bozo, the legendary player who was the first person to RNG manip a perfect game from 18 to 29. That requires memorizing several hundred pieces and then performing them perfectly in a row. It's an incredible feat of memory.
I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was like 1 in 100.
So,
occasionally
yeah, it looks like Scotto has about a 3.5 Tetris lead. And it looks like we're going to have the next set up next. I don't know who it is, but love it up.
Our wonderful organizers will give us a couple new players to commentate momentarily. Meanwhile, Barrett is behind about 4.5 Tetrises as he does a little bit of a screen look. Barrett is a very interesting player. He's kind of infamous for being a table tapper. He's always got his signature sunglasses when he plays, but he is now table dassing. He is not tapping here. We have, as a reminder, Alex Kerr has specially made DAS ROMs for this event that do not allow you to tap above the limits of DAS. So it is impossible to cheat.
So I guess Barrett could tap at like 8 hertz.
Right. So technically you could tap at a very slow rate and get away with it, but it would be a really bad strategy because you would not have as much piece movement available to you as if you were charging DAS.
Yeah, so there is actually a record that is called the Disrespect World Record, where you turn on DAS only mode on Gym and you try and you're not allowed to DAS. So that record is about a 1.07, but the DAS world record is a 1.3, so it's still a bit of an advantage.
Yeah, for sure. And both players have transitioned now. Scotto with an incredible 6.78 Tetris lead.
Which is to be expected of a player of Harry's.
And Scotto is just pouring down the Tetrises now. Barrett also has a good board.
Oh, Barrett.
And opts to just take the triple. Barrett is down 200,000 points, though. He's going to need to turn on the gas here really quick unless Scotto tops out immediately.
Even if Scotto does top out immediately, Barrett will still need Tetrises to chase this down.
Oh, yeah. But he's doing what he needs to do. He's now getting in a stronger position. He has a stable board. But Scotto is still just...
Oh, and a bit of a drought.
Yeah,
That could end Scotto's run. Here. Oh.
This is still survivable, but it's very perilous. But that misdrop is going to do it.
Oh, in a 36-piece drought, and Barrett still has another 14 pieces to go through.
Oh, no, but Barrett's dealing with the same drought, and he's going to need a long bar for that left, and it's not going to come.
And that's going to be it. And Scotto takes game number 1.
65 for Matt Martin, 321 for Ninja.
All right, and it looks like our players up at the top, our next players are going to be Aurora and Jonesy.
Tried to adjust with the eyepiece and get the wrong placement, but the board is still salvageable.
Yeah, that was the players trying to maintain their DAS. So, having the entry,
I don't know.
only the D-pad.
Aurora and Jonesy.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know how to
Great survival over there from Ninja.
Just like
keeping it clean too. All those transitions coming, so now it's time to get that board back down. Ninja with another Tetris.
Okay.
Scores are actually getting closer. Ninja making up some ground here. And Matt having taken triple.
So another thing about running a tournament like this, just a little inside baseball. So normally at the CTWC, in the gold bracket, it is a whole bunch of top-level rollers, such as Scooty, who are usually not on crew. So the crew is available to run the tournament. But here at the Jonas Cup, we have a lot of DAS players who are normally on crew who are actually having to play and do other duties. So now we have one of our top rollers taking the reverse role. Scooty, you got to be a judge, and now you're a commentator.
Yeah.
The roles have been reversed.
Yeah, trying to figure out the Nestor's Champs interface when I've never used it.
Yeah, so we're sort of flying by the seat of our pants over here on CT2. So again, thanks for your patience as we figure all of this out.
It looks like players on the top are getting their seeds set, or about to.
All right, so Bun and Scotto down at the bottom. They're off to an almost even start. Barrett has about a 1 Tetris lead, but now it is basically even, and Scotto takes the lead, and then Barrett takes right back. So go ahead.
It looks about, just about even. Maybe I think that's a double difference. That was all I was gonna say.
Yeah, so a little bit more info about Barrett. Barrett is one of the unsung heroes behind the scenes of CTWC. He has driven a van up to Portland multiple times over the years to carry a lot of the gear that makes these tournaments possible.
And Barrett with a bit of a misdrop and getting some good burns to get out of this. But yeah, this is going to allow Scotto to take the lead.
Yeah, tough stack for Barrett. He's got, this is like B-type, 18-3.
Gets the long bar over.
Barely, but yeah.
Barrett will be fine. He'll get through this, but it will hurt his pace a lot. So this is Scotto's opportunity to capitalize. Meanwhile, Aurora and Jonesy up at the top have gotten underway. So Aurora and Jonesy are also two players that have a lot of history. Aurora is a modern Tetris player, but did make it into, I believe, the silver bracket in one of the online CTWC years. So she was one of the top players a couple years ago. And Jonesy, he was the final seed of the silver bracket in the year I made it in 2022. But oh no, Barrett is in big trouble right now. He's getting the right pieces to open this up, but he's going to need a couple more to survive here. And Barrett is somehow making this work. He's getting the right pieces.
Quick step square over.
That double is going to be good enough. Ninja takes.
That's right. I got to remind myself, Barrett can't rely on his tapping. He's got to dash this stuff over.
Yeah, no, Ninja.
And I know he's doing it legit, again, because of these carts.
Matt Martin is a strong competitor.
You know, like I mentioned earlier, Ninja PP'd to make it into the bracket, and now he's
And it looks like Barrett is going to survive and get down to safety.
I mean, that means we've seen, I know for a fact we've seen two PBs today.
Putting out a massive forest fire in his stack.
Right before quals.
Yeah,
That's
but
inspiring.
Scotto in the meantime has built out already a 5 Tetris lead, so Scotto can keep building onto this lead, and it might make it just impossible for Barrett to catch up.
Yeah, we are still early. We're only a little over halfway to transition, so we have a lot of Tetris to play. But yes, if Scotto maintains his current pace and doesn't cede any ground to Barrett, but it looks like he might be right now.
What happened?
That was a very unfortunate hang there. It looks like he will survive, but now Scotto is going to be digging through some mess, but Barrett shaking his head.
Yeah, so both players are not in any position to get any Tetrises, and Scotto is actually closer to the bottom.
Yeah, Barrett's unfortunately right back where he started up here at the top, digging through a swamp of a mess, a swamp bigger than Congress on his board.
In a DAS match, in a DAS tournament, anyone can take it. If the playing field is level, it matters on how you
But
stack.
Barrett is going to survive. He is going to drain the swamp.
And the thing that maybe not a lot of people talk about is a lot of these players play DAS because they've been playing it for years and years, like, decades.
And all right, Scotto and Bun Bun have both survived
Even if you have a new style like tapping or rolling,
the craziness of their boards.
aren't going to change their
Yeah,
style because this
but
is the way they
now
learned the game.
Barrett has a lines lead, a
That's,
worse
something
board, and
skill to be
a
respected
pretty
still,
big
so I'm
deficit.
glad
Oh my gosh, and Aurora topped out
Oh.
of nowhere. It looks like she had a perfect stack and just managed to, unfortunately, have a hang, and Jonesy is going to take game number 1.
Ninja, amazing down stack right now. I'm assuming that the pieces have been a little bit on the rougher side.
Oh, yeah.
Because despite
So a cool bit of trivia about Jonesy. He was a former minor league baseball player for the Chicago Cubs.
quite the dangerous dig.
Yeah.
So Barrett into transition at 2:16, I think it was, and Scotto at 3:92, so 180,000 point lead, so not a great situation for
Great way to stay alive.
Yeah, that is actually a historically low transition for Barrett. We almost never see transitions in the low 200,000s.
And Barrett is getting pretty routed.
Rough start that round.
Yeah.
40-piece drought, 41-piece drought, and so Scotto having to go through that.
Yeah, that's some terrible RNG these players have been fighting through. Scotto's just been able to capitalize a little bit more. But I do want to add, just because Barrett has a historically low transition does not mean he's had a historically bad game. To even get to transition with such a low pace, that means you've done some incredible survival to make it this far.
Very center well there for a while, but opts to take the triple.
Another Tetris for Mega Retro Man, 548. That's a
Oh, wait.
126,000 point lead over Jacobo here.
With a nice clean board
Oh,
now. Needs that
and
long
we just
bar.
got to point out that Jonesy's currently flying the Egypt flag, so we'll fix that in tech.
Jacobo is now scoring Tetrises once
But
again. Set up
on
for
the
another.
bottom, game still going,
Finally turning
but
it on now. You're in
yeah,
the
Barrett
19 speed.
not having a good game. 12% Tetris rate in 23,
Behind in lines by a full level.
and now 11. Oh, and gets a Tetris, but hangs on the left side.
Like, I don't know how that happened by playing up high by Mega Retro Man to cause that, but
If I remember correctly, Mega Retro Man is one of the better players that can push down. I see.
Yeah, there's not.
I don't think sometimes. Oh, beautiful overhang over there from Jacobo Mega Regiment. Great survival. Loving the down stacking efforts. Saw the drown. Beautiful split doubles. Nicely done over there for Mega Regiment.
Yeah, and Barret,
that situation. Tricky pieces,
I think
handled it with extreme
even if Scotto tops out right now, has 13 burns, and now is way less.
Yeah, Barrett would have to play perfect at this point. So I think it's just about over. Now, this is a very unusual situation. I made a joke on commentary the other day that if Mullen could Mullen a loss, he would be allowed to do it. And now, Scooty, would you consider this situation if Barrett plays this out mullening a loss?
I think so. A 300,000 point deficit in late 26. Just you can't make this up, especially in DAS. And Barrett's gonna top out.
Yeah.
All right, GG's to Barrett. That was some crazy survival.
So there's a chase down, but can Jacobo turn it on? Continue this.
And Scotto takes a commanding 2-0 lead.
Yeah, so on the top, Aurora taking a 2 Tetris lead against Jonesy.
Yeah, oh man. Starting to become dependent and getting into a situation.
I also want to, more background info on these players. Jonesy is one of the unsung heroes of the Kansas City Regional. Scooty, you've been there the past 2 years. What could you say about Jonesy?
Yeah, Jonesy is always super nice to regionals, and the after party is, I think the last 2 years I went was held at his house. And yeah, he has a really good collection.
He has an incredible collection. I was fortunate to feature it in the Matt Martin video I put out, where Matt was staying in his man cave, as he put it. But yeah, Jonesy is so generous with his time and his space at his house with the after party. So definitely, if you go out to the Kansas City Regional, give Jonesy your thanks.
Oh, the J piece. He needs it now.
Oh my goodness, and Aurora had some very perilous survival. And Aurora should be able to do this here. Gets the Tetris just in time. And meanwhile, Barrett and Scotto have gotten started on game number 3. So this is match point for Scotto. Barrett must win this game to survive in the tournament.
He's gonna have to turn on the gas here.
Yeah, and Jonesy is behind now, but up a game, so does have a game to throw out.
There was no J piece for Jacobo, so he was unable to get the pieces they needed in order to score that last Tetris. And setting up that high and almost...
So we will see how Barrett approaches this, being on the road.
Yeah, that's what you have to do. I mean,
I think what you're saying is like, on game 5 you want to be a little bit more reserved, but when you're in an 0-2 hole, that's a tough position. How do you approach a game like that usually?
Yeah, for me, I was down 0-2 against Dan V in the recent CTL, and for me, the mindset just goes to, you have nothing to lose, and you only have everything to gain. And you can go aggressive, and you top out, you're already down 0-2. And if you keep winning, then you can win the set. So that's sort of how I go. That's where my mindset is when I'm down 0-2 and 0-1.
Nice, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. The more close it is, the more of a chance you have, the more you want to be careful. Oh, and Aurora transitions with 465.
So, yeah, pretty good transition, being ahead of Jonesy by about 50,000 points going into transition. So, yeah, Jonesy behind, but not a massive lead for Aurora, but gets a Tetris to pad that lead.
Yeah, I don't know what Aurora qualified with, but Jonesy qualified with mid 800K, so we know he's capable of throwing down Tetrises on 19.
I think Jonesy was close to bottom seed, so Aurora probably, I think, qualified as like a 950, so definitely a good 19 player.
Yeah, Barrett, meanwhile, just trying to find the solution here, is stuck up in the rafters yet again.
Oh, but Aurora burning a little high, but looking to get this down.
Barrett is down big right now. He's fighting for his tournament life. It looks like he will manage to get this down with just a couple more ideal pieces.
But ideal pieces. Oh, it gets it though, and now down about 100,000 points.
Misses the T-spin. It wouldn't have perfectly resolved the board anyways, but yeah, it's just extending this dig, which is not what you want in a game 3. And now he's at the mercy of getting a long bar. He needs a long bar now, and now he's not going to be able to put anything over to the left, and Scotto has swept the match. And meanwhile, Aurora's about to top out, so now we have a chase down situation for Jonesy. He needs 4 Tetrises.
And gets 1.
All right, so just 3 Tetrises to go for Jonesy.
Still win, and then the next game.
He has plenty of time.
Don't fall your way.
Yeah, that was.
Ooh. And yeah, Jonesy probably gonna line it out. I think.
Oh yeah.
This would be quite a seed upset if Jonesy can pull this off, going up 2-0 against a much higher seed.
I think this is 43 versus 20, like 21. So big upset.
So Jonesy is not in a position to Tetris. He's going to need a clutch piece or two. He gets one of them. He needs a line piece now.
Oh.
He's just got to go all in on the line piece. He needs it in like 5 to 4 pieces, and he doesn't get it in time.
And that's gonna tie up the set.
We've been fumbling that name like all day.
Too hot. We don't need another fire game.
Now, I was watching Hecate's qualifier very personally because I was on the verge of being bumped out of the bracket, and I saw Hecate had this incredible, very tough dig sequence where just muscling out this final 150,000 points all the way to 29 and hit a clutch triple right at the end to put it over the top. So Hecate is competing in a very hard-earned spot here. The United States Minor Outlying Islands. Oh, that's an interesting option for one of the... Just in case we have somebody from one of the minor United States islands. Dang, Yobi thought of everything.
So
nice
up top, 1-1. So
Definitely
now
not
best of
as
3,
obvious
and
solve.
a bit of a drought,
Help Ninja out a bit.
which a little worse for Aurora than it was for Jonesy, but
Oh, they're exactly tied for just a moment.
yeah, but Jonesy is now in a worse situation, but that bar really helps.
Yeah, it's been a rough round.
Yeah, neither of these boards are great, but probably take Jonesy's board over Aurora's. Aurora is really at the mercy of getting a long bar, but gets one, and a perfect square. Oh, and they're tied again, exactly.
Yeah, so Jonesy
I mean, this is going to be an impressive.
probably in a, they're about even in like how bad their situation is.
Oh, misdrop over there from Jacobo.
Yeah, Jonesy with the bar dependency now.
Oh, wait.
So.
Oh, he couldn't get it over. Missed the quick tap. Jacobo will be topping out.
Yeah, so now Aurora is down at the bottom.
200, over
And a little
250,000 point lead.
off-center well. Could get a perfect well transfer, and with that, now on the right side, and Jonesy is down by Tetris and Dirty.
Yeah, so Jonesy has done what he needs to do to clean this up, and Aurora is just about down to a clean stack, waiting for one piece to open it up, and doesn't quite have the perfect clean stack yet, does have an overhang that's uncomfortable. All right, and both of them are stuck digging a little bit again.
Yeah, and he's got the sack down
so
right before transition, down by 100,000
lead staying about the same up
But
top.
this board
Jonesy has a
is
dirty Tetris set up, but he's going to burn it down safely, otherwise he had no options available. Uh-oh, he's in a... This is not a great position for Jonesy.
No. The drought.
He gets the dirty triple. That'll help him survive quite a bit longer.
350 range.
Oh, and Jonesy
60 around level 20. So
almost
it seems
down
like
to the
there
bottom,
were
needs
pieces
another
that bottom players not able
okay
to
piece.
Really pace, so to speak.
And doesn't get any good pieces. So hoping to get down, and is back clean, and Aurora is also almost
Go for the level, just gonna burn it out.
back to normal. So
Yeah. So if you recently got into Tetris and you're used to watching the Blue Scooties and the Alex T's and the Fractals and everybody else rolling right up at the top of the board on 18, just keep in mind that with DAS, you cannot play in the top, like, quarter of the screen. even on 18.
Yeah.
It's just unavailable to you. So a lot of these players are very close to the edge of death when they're getting into these digs, and they really have to clutch out some placements. So Scooty, were you originally a DAS player when you first started out, or did you go back to DAS at one point?
I was originally a tap player, and just recently I started playing some DAS, and I think I got my first DAS Max back in March of this year, February, March.
Nice, yeah, that makes sense, because I remember at Waco you were telling me you hadn't quite gotten it, and that was in January. So what was your experience like, experiencing the limitations of DAS after being a tapper and a roller?
Yeah, it's very, oh wait, Aurora,
oh my goodness.
Gonna top out.
And Aurora
Jonesy
tops out.
takes the game.
And Jonesy is up 2-1. Oh my goodness. So Jonesy was on the verge of a sweep there, because again, he almost had that chase down in game number 2. But now he is on the verge of completing the upset.
Yeah.
Because it seems like he's been pushing down to
I
the
think
number of games that we're
we're gonna be
on.
starting
So
game
now,
number
this
4
is game
in
number 4.
maybe
Push down
game number
4
1 on the
games.
bottom soon.
You gotta love
Yeah.
those little cheeky things that just make things just a little bit more
I know
special.
Hecate
yeah.
is another name is one of the skies, I forget.
Oh no, Mega Retro Man.
There's a lot of skies.
Yeah.
It's not Trish Sky.
Nice double rotation.
There's 3 skies, right?
So now he's in down stacking mode.
All right, so we have started with game number 4 up at the top.
Opens up the well, gets the long bar. Bird crucial double.
How many skies are there?
Left.
Yeah.
I believe there's.
And that's another top out for Mega Retro Man, so we now have a decider.
There's too many skies.
I don't. Yeah.
All right, so this is Jonesy's opportunity to finish off Aurora, and Aurora's chance to start the comeback. So I guess while we're still on the leisurely level 18, so Scooty, you were saying about your experience with going to DAS?
Yeah, it's very difficult. I'd say the hardest part is actually skill stops, which is why you see a lot of the DAS misdrops when they're trying to stop a piece in a certain column and maybe undershifts and overshifts, because sometimes you think you have DAS and you don't, and it undershifts. And you think you don't have DAS, but you do, and you way overshoot it. And that's something you have to constantly be thinking about. And if you over adjust, you need to adjust it like immediately before it hits a stack. So there's a lot going into DAS that you don't see.
Yes, absolutely. So, yeah, I think the way I would put it is like it's much harder to place pieces in the center than it is on the sides. The sides are actually the easy placements because you can wall charge. And so there's this whole invisible game going on underneath with the stacking decisions. And it looks like we are indeed underway on the bottom. Nice center well Tetris for Hecate.
So, both. Yeah. Hecate is in the lead at the bottom and about tied up the top, neck and neck.
Nice suck over there for Ninja into the Tetris.
So yeah, Jonesy keeping pace with Aurora in this match point for him.
I believe Jonesy has only a few max outs, so playing up against somebody qualled with a 950,000 is definitely...
It's a very impressive showing for Jonesy. Absolutely. And meanwhile, also, we have one of the legends of the scene, Birb, down at the bottom. You've probably heard Birb commentate a lot. He has a fantastic voice. He somehow never runs out of energy for it. I get exhausted doing this commentary even just for 2 to 3 hours. And also, Birb has a lot of history behind him. He's helped organize regionals. He defeated Cheese in Cheese's very first live tournament appearance in the first round of CTWC 2022. And he's also good at DAS.
Yeah, so master of all trades. So, yeah, beating Cheese in CTWC, especially when Cheese was one of the best at the time, going all the way to a decider and I think winning in the kill screen. So
yeah,
a good roller and shown in quals with a one-off that was almost a max out. So definitely also a good DAS player.
Jonesy cannot get a Tetris here, but just opts to take the safety burns. Just getting things back down to safety.
I think while we were watching the match on the bottom, Aurora has built a 6 Tetris lead.
So the lead hasn't changed, which is good if you're mad. not necessarily so good if you're
not great for Jonesy.
Want to hear that you're
Yeah, this is not great for Jonesy. So I guess we'll put it in baseball terms. This is like game 4 of the division series, but you're down like by 4 runs in the 3rd inning. So you just gotta focus up as a pitcher and just get some strikeouts.
Yeah,
and there he's got a strikeout Tetris set up. What, can he get it?
Das adjustments. I mean, we see them with rollers.
Oh no! And he's throwing some balls. He's not able to get this strikeout. The hitter's fouling them off.
Looking at Aurora's screen, we can see that this drought goes on to be 36, 37.
Oh my gosh, 27, 28-piece drought, 30-piece drought. This is an incredible at-bat. So many foul balls. We've never seen anything like this. 37, 38. Oh my goodness, what a Tetris for Jonesy, and he gets the strikeout. But he's still behind 4 runs. So, yeah, Jonesy dealing with a 6 Tetris deficit here.
Yeah, so Jonesy, I think, still behind 6 Tetrises. Yeah, so not great for Jonesy. Really hoping that Aurora just like tops out right now.
Except for
and down on the bottom,
Hecate
is
transition. That means Ninja's going to be there too.
Up in score, but has a bad board. So this is Birb's chance to catch that cup.
Under control. Better pieces. Okay, transition up high.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Yeah, Jonesy had a little bit of a misdrop there, but he's going to try and clean this up. Again, Jonesy does have a game to give, but this is a crucial game for Aurora. Aurora does not want to give this game away. She's in the driver's seat, approaching the transition with a huge lead. Will want to play it safe, not do anything risky.
Great match and awesome seeing
Jonesy not in a great situation. Small drought there, so having to build up on top of the well.
You know, Ninjas has said
Aurora is just building the lead.
Yeah, we'll see if Aurora goes for the final Tetris. It looks like she does. She's going for a very little dusty Tetris, but the little dusty Tetrises can be dangerous if you're going for them in transition. Now, one more Tetris will do it for Aurora. She will reach the level 19 speeds, and she's just going to opt to burn in. The right move with a lead this big.
Yeah, so 490,000 versus 331. Oh, Jonesy commits.
Oh my gosh, that was a gamble by Jonesy, but he does get the center well Tetris. And he's going to need more Tetrises. But Aurora in a little bit of trouble. Oh no.
The bar left.
Yeah, maybe Aurora didn't have dash, but this is on the verge of a top out for Aurora.
Okay,
so
Jonesy.
This is going to be a chase down situation for Jonesy. Aurora can't get anything to the left.
5 Tetrises, 5 Tetrises.
All right, so Jonesy needs 5 Tetrises to do it. But he has a messy board. He's just going to need to survive right now. Oh no, he doesn't take the double with the square. He can still survive this, but it's going to be tough. And he gets the long bar. Oh my goodness.
Jonesy could get this down, but still a bad board.
In the dig of his life. Oh no! And that's probably going to be it. It's going to take a miracle dig at this point. Oh, my goodness.
Ben, please approach the stage. Your match is up.
And we will go to a decider. Lovely Judge Meme is just making sure everybody's all set.
The battle of the bands.
Getting the thumbs up from everybody. All right, yeah, Birb and Hecate are off on the bottom, and Aurora and Jonesy are off at the top.
Yeah, that should be fun.
This is a high stakes decider up here.
I don't think I'm doing the first top 6.
Down at the bottom, little weird stacks for both players. Hecate probably hoping to get out of this efficiently and setting up center well.
Look at that. Look at the crowd we have watching the Jonas Cup here today.
So yeah, there's also an additional element of this where Hecate and, really all these players, they do have to play on the second side stage where you're not hearing the announcers over the loudspeakers. So Scooty, have you been in that situation where you're playing a live match and you can't hear the commentary?
Oh, like when the main station is being like loud and you can't hear your own?
Yeah.
So I think that has happened before where at CTWC 2023, one of my matches was put on side, I think, and I kept hearing commentary that wasn't about like what I was doing. It can throw you off, but even if you're on the main stage, you know, they could still be talking about the other match that's going on. So I guess that's something you sort of learn to deal with over time is, you know, blocking out the commentary unless it's focused towards your game.
Yeah, so when you are up there, how often do you ask the judge for stuff? Like, what sort of stuff are you asking the judge for information on?
I don't think I've ever asked the judge for anything. I feel like all the information that you need is based on screen looking. So I think all you need is score and lines.
Okay, so you will just screen look. You don't ask the judge for that.
Yeah. I don't know of anybody who asks the judge, but I feel like that could be a good strategy so you can focus on your own game.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've heard some people over the years. I remember when John Boy covered Tetris, he's like, what the heck is the judge supposed to do? It's Tetris. And yeah, so one of the jobs of the judge is to give players information they may need if they want it, if the commentators aren't providing it in the moment, which, you know, as you said, there's multiple matches to commentate, and then in this case, we aren't over the loudspeakers, so the players can't really hear us.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Jonesy, unfortunately, is down almost 4 Tetrises in this decider. The upset is going to be put on hold for now, and Aurora is on the verge of a comeback here.
Kind of makes me feel weird that
Maybe a sigh of relief of Aurora to finally be in the driver's seat in this match after just walking a tightrope to even get this far.
Yeah, so it looked like Aurora in the previous games. How Jonesy won 2 games, I think it was on 18, where Aurora topped out to misdrops or droughts.
Yeah, Aurora had 2 early top outs, and then she also had 2 quick top outs past 19, and Jonesy was just unable to do the chase downs both times. It's an incredible, like, mental whiplash when you top out and then your opponent doesn't quite get the chase down. I imagine you've been in that situation quite a couple of times.
Yeah, it goes from feeling like, you know, you played really bad and you sort of threw the match and then they top out. Sometimes it's due to a drought or something, and you're like, well, you know, maybe I did my best. I did the best with the pieces I got.
I think the biggest example of that was probably when you defeated Alex T in the Masters event the other month. It came down to just 1 line.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like during that match, it just made it feel like Alex T could top out and that he was, you know, immortal.
Yeah.
But down at both games are around 90 lines, so you could see a quad transition, which I don't know if we've seen so far. Just the matches starting at different times.
That's true. Yeah, it is DAS, and so again, early top outs do happen a little bit more often. Birb, a little bit of a perilous situation, but he does get the Tetris.
Yeah. So on top, both players have been topping out pretty early in the 19 speeds, so I think both of them are going to want to go far and, you know, not give the other person an easy time.
Yeah, we're looking at 4 good stacks up here. The only stack with a little bit of trouble is Hecate's line piece dependency that she's able to fill in very quickly.
Yeah, now Jonesy, little drought, and just gonna burn out, even though he's behind by so much.
Yeah, Aurora's just continuing to build up this lead. This is exactly where Aurora wants to be, going out, getting close to the transition. Well, we'll probably see her playing it pretty safe because she does not want to leave this down to yet another chase down in Jonesy's position. She would love to do it on her own terms. Birb Wizard just trying to open up this well here. Does have it open, but a little bit of a hole. He just opts to burn down the hole to get back to onto a clean stack.
Yeah, so looks like both players,
and now thanks to Tetris
same line count, but
oh my gosh, we're at the transition. I didn't even realize. Oh, Birb Wizard clutching this out, and Hecate's not really going to be able to get stuff to the left, and has a misdrop, and that's going to end the game, but it's a chase down. Birb Wizard needs 400,000 basically.
40,000.
Oh, I mean 400,000 points overall.
Oh.
Yeah, a 400,000 point chase down would be tough. But meanwhile, we're up at the top in the decider. This is crazy. We got a chase down and a decider going.
Like we always say, more Tetris than you can handle.
Jonesy's really getting messed up with these droughts, I feel like.
Yeah, Jonesy just really would love Aurora to top out right away. He's going to need Tetrises. He's going to need a lot of them.
Nintendo Switch.
And Aurora is not letting up.
If you have a Switch.
Oh no! And Birb are not going to be able to get
Birb.
this.
Needs a square, but then Birb's going to top out.
Oh man, and that's the rough part of Das. That would have been very easy to get something over with tapping, or that would still be hard with tapping. It'd be easy with rolling, but yeah, with Das, as Scooty said, one of the only things that could have probably safely gotten over there was a square.
Oh, Jonesy.
Oh no, and this is going to be it for Jonesy. It's going to be almost impossible for him to get something to the left, and that's going to be it. Aurora completes the comeback. But an incredible showing from Jonesy. As we see, Jonesy got that Tetris tattoo after his max out. He is dedicated to the game.
Yeah, it's good to see Ben Mullen
And it's
here.
great to see him out here.
In our game, we even have, the term, the Mullen is...
So this is a round 0,
Mullen
top
playing
48.
the game after defeating his opponent, and that's ingrained into the fabric of our history now.
Yeah, it's like, when you think about it, what else would you call it? I can't think of anything else to call, playing a game after you won. Anything else but a Mullen.
I know.
And
that's the
games
legacy
on the
that'll be
bottom
forever.
starting off with droughts.
It's part of our culture. I love it. Up on top, both players dealing with traffic on the board, having to dig back down. Rose with a slight lead.
Tricky pieces over.
Oh man, and the players just keep coming along. It's a parade of familiar names in the community.
Arctic is clean.
It's my favorite part. My favorite aspect of these tournaments is just getting to see a lot of names you normally just see them online.
Go up, Tetris for Arctic.
They're just all over the place in the world. And for one weekend, we're all together. We're all connected.
Way to solve that.
Birb and Hecate, very close, very early on in this game. They're 1-1, so this third game will have a lot of momentum carrying it. Whoever can win it. So Hecate just trying to get this board clean, has a nice skin, is ready for the Tetrises. And there's a Tetris for both players, simul Tetris.
Up and his Tetris ready.
Yeah, just great dash control, great placements by both players. Not anything too flashy to commentate on at the moment. Other than just these players have worked very hard for a long time to be this good. But oh no, Hecate in a very perilous situation. Doesn't have a lot of great burn options. And is going to be shut off. And this could be an early top out for Hecate. And Birb is going to take game number 3 just like that. And that is the nature of Das. Das can be very, very tricky.
Maybe you'll find...
what you don't see up here is, again, I remember the very first time I watched these matches, on the very early VODs, one of the old directors of CTWC, Adam Cornelius, said, hey, if this looks easy to you, just get a cart yourself, get a console, and try to survive on level 18, let alone level 19. You won't get very far. And that was my experience the first time I tried to play the game. I couldn't get one line on 18. So it takes a lot of work just to even get up to this level of proficiency you're seeing from these players in 18. And we are on to game number 4 here at the bottom. Birb is looking to take this home. And Hecate is looking to just get back on the board. Oh my goodness, a perilous Tetris there.
Arctic with the lead. Bottom Tetris. Bangs down another one. And Mullen is set up. Boom! Tetris for Ben Mullen. 239.
Got some Reed fans in the chat. Thanks for everybody who's watching in live and who may watch this in the future on YouTube or elsewhere. And again, if you cannot catch this whole tournament and just want to give a shout out to Wingfryer's website, tetrisinterest.com. If you go there, he has timestamps to every major CTWC event and regional. Presumably he'll be covering this event as well. I can't imagine why he wouldn't. And he has links to every single match, so you can pick up exactly where you left off. And he will also very helpfully avoid spoilers. So he will not post the names of the later rounds. He'll just show you the links to them so you can follow it in order. So again, I know these tournaments are long. You might not be able to catch all the days or all 3 days, but again, go to tetrisinterest.com. He did not pay for this sponsorship read, but I cannot recommend his website enough. And he's here in person today. It's great to see him out.
Barely get that over.
So meanwhile, we're 32 lines in, down at the bottom. Hecate versus Birb Wizard. And it's very close, less than a Tetris difference. Birb Wizard blocks the well just for a moment, but opens it back up again. Hecate is also open. And Tetris is for both players.
Yeah, so even games down at the bottom, nothing special really happened. I wasn't watching the first probably 30 lines, but
it's early level 18.
Yeah, not much to commentate.
But yeah, I mean, we've seen games just go awry really quick, as Hecate did in that game number 3, and Hecate is desperately trying not to do that in game number 4 as a crucial triple into a Tetris.
Double.
Yes, clutch there. That's exactly the kind of movement.
Birb Wizard nodding his head to himself.
Like that.
Listening to some music.
There was a bit of a meme in the CTM Discord server for a long time. There was a channel for, I think, DAS players shaking their heads. One of those things that DAS players just seem to do. They love to shake their heads when they make a misdraw. But Birb Wizard is shaking his head vertically instead of horizontally.
372 now 370. Neck and neck.
I think to emphasize that he is happy. Oh, and very nice spin for Birb Wizard. Uh-oh.
Hecate. Oh no.
Oh no, and this could be it for Hecate. Hecate fighting for her tournament life. Uh-oh, and that's not going to skim. Needs something for the left. Get something. This is going to be really tough. Oh no, and puts more weight on the left over those holes. The left is tough to access, but gets a perfect L piece.
Needs something to fill out the right.
Oh no, and that early dash load. That could be it. That was the only option available to Hecate. It's going to need perfect pieces here. I don't know what she can get to the left.
Quick tell.
And that's going to be it. And Birb Wizard has advanced 3-1.
Right to anticipate this match.
Yeah.
These players are playing well with the pieces you get in there given. And oh, that doesn't burn for Rose. Looks like she might have been shocked by that as well.
Oh, mischief.
That might be fatal, trying to get something over to the left. It's going to be a challenge.
Oh, that's going to spiral out of control. And Rose tops out. Biggie takes the first round.
Biggie was going to top out around the same point, but not before getting a dirty Tetris. You know, icing on the cake.
So we're seeing Hecate get hugs from all her friends off stage.
16-point difference.
You know, great to see that level of support among comrades in the Tetris community.
"12 shapes, it's too much to remember. I decided that I should downsize it. So if I introduce flipping, then I have just 5 pieces. That's how Tetris was born."
Well, I didn't have the rights. I said, I'm going to go to the Soviet Union and get those rights.
I believe that Tetris will be here forever.
I think I have one of the greatest games in the history of computer games.
Alexei really created the perfect game.
2 weeks in a row, I did nothing but play.
Play Tetris. Play Tetris. My friends.
Tetris is inclusive and it appeals to everyone.
Every place was sold out, and every place was clamoring for more.
We're always trying to figure out what is the best way to keep the core game of Tetris.
Nobody thought this game was going to last forever.